My grandma has been calling me every day. She's been dead for 3 months. My grandma Minnie was a wonderful woman. She was funny, kind, and beloved by her entire community. When she died, I was absolutely devastated. It took me a while to accept that I'd never see her again. That's why I was horrified when I got a call from her a month later. "How you doing, kiddo?" She laughed through the receiver. "Who is this?" I said, even though I knew. "Why, it's just your old grandma," she said. I was shocked. I continued talking to her for about 20 minutes about school and my parents. I told her about my new apartment, which I loved even though I always had trouble making rent. She told me she loved me, and I told her I loved her. And then she hung up. I don't know why I never breached the subject of her death. I ended up having 3 more beers and falling asleep on my couch. When I woke up the next day, I was convinced the whole thing had been a dream. I just didn't know that the truth was so much more horrifying. 5 days later, I got a call while at work. Upon picking up the call, I was left in shock. "Hi, kiddo," my grandma said cheerily. I responded, "Hi, Grandma. Can I ask where you're calling from?" She said, "Oh, you know, I'm not supposed to talk about it, but it's beautiful here. I'm surrounded by people I love." Then her next words remained in my mind forever. She told me, "Listen, there's something I need you to do for me. Be on the lookout for a little pink snake. I love you. Have a wonderful day." Then she hung up on me. I finished up work that day as best I could. I was still reeling, of course. Maybe I was going crazy. Mental illness didn't really run in my family, though. Grandma Minnie was lucid till the day she died. I took my normal route home. It's a little walk to the bus station from my building, and I do pass through some pretty gross parts of the city, but it's nothing dangerous or anything. One building I passed had this disgusting pile of black trash bags in front of it. In the corner of my eye, I noticed something sticking out from under one of the bags. It was long, ropey, and beaded with magenta sequins. It caught my attention because for a brief moment in the center of my brain, I mistook it for a pink snake. I defied all my instincts and approached the disgusting pile of bags. I pulled the beaded rope out, and at the end, there was a set of keys and a small wallet. There was no ID and no credit cards, or anything that could have helped me find the original owner. The only thing inside the wallet was $600 cash. "Geez," I whispered. That was more than enough to help me meet this month's rent. I pocketed the money and silently thanked my grandma. I was about to leave when I heard a small rustling sound in the alley behind the bags, a tiny little muffled cry I wouldn't have heard otherwise. Upon investigation, I discovered a teeny tiny little kitten who had her front half stuck in a drain pipe. She was little and skinny like she hadn't eaten in forever. She couldn't get a grip on the pipe and was lodged up in it. I imagined she would have drowned if I hadn't come to save her. I helped wriggle her out of there. My heart melted for this poor little kitten. She was just a baby, and where was her family? She should be with her mom. She looked like she was starving. Her meow was so tiny and pitiful, and as soon as I got her out of that pipe, she instantly cuddled up to me. I couldn't just leave her there. I looked up what you were supposed to feed little kittens. According to the internet, she looked to be about 6 or 7 weeks old and could eat solid food, so I got some for her. I named her Bee, which was my grandma's middle name. I never would have found her without my grandma's hint. A few weeks passed, and I didn't get another call from my grandma. I didn't mind. 2 calls from beyond the grave are more than I was ever expecting. Plus, I had a brand new little pal who followed me around the apartment and liked to sleep on my wireless modem and always wanted to play with my socks. As soon as Bee was in a safe, loving environment, she started to get healthy and happy. She developed quite a personality. She was silly and melodramatic. I swear to God, that little cat had a sense of humor. She would fake mortal distress if I ever picked her up from off the modem, running out of the room as if I was the devil, and then return 4 seconds later, bounding and chirruping. She slept on my chest at night. I think she liked the rise and fall of it. 4 weeks passed before I got another call. "Hey, kiddo," my grandma said. "Hi, Grandma," I replied excitedly. "I'm in the middle of making dinner." The next thing she told me made my blood run cold. She told me, "Good. I need you to take your little cat and push her face into the pan." I froze. "What?" I responded. She said, "Oh, sweetheart, I know you don't understand, but this is what has to happen." A sudden realization struck me. I don't know how I didn't think of it sooner. "Grandma," I said, "I need proof. I need proof that you're my real Grandma Minnie." She went on to tell me hundreds of things that only my real grandmother could know, or so I thought. "One more thing, Grandma," I said. "You were Catholic while you were alive, so can you pray with me? The Lord's Prayer. You said it every night at dinner." I took a deep breath. "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." I trailed off. There was silence on the other end. "Grandma, why aren't you praying?" I whispered. "You're not my grandma. Who the F are you?" The line went dead. Let me fill you in on a little bit of obscure trivia. During the Salem witch trials, there was a minister named George Burroughs who was executed for witchcraft. As he stood on the ladder, waiting to be hanged, he recited the Lord's Prayer. It was believed that witches and demons could not say the Lord's Prayer. Don't ask me how I knew this offhand. Like you, I've been on the internet for a long time, and there's all kinds of useless information in the back of my head now. I turned my cell off and disconnected my phone. Whoever was calling me, it wasn't my grandma. They were using my grandma's voice, but it couldn't be her. Whoever was calling me was something evil. Grandma Minnie's heaven wouldn't demand the mutilation of a kitten. Come to think of it, Grandma Minnie's heaven wouldn't tell someone where to find $600 in a shifty dumpster. I lay in bed shaking. I'd been so happy to believe that my grandma really was happy and safe in the afterlife. I'd been so relieved to know that there was an afterlife, that there was a heaven and a light at the end of the tunnel. To know that, after a long, drawn-out, wasting death, my grandma's spirit was somewhere nice. I'd wanted to believe it so badly. Maybe she really was safe and happy somewhere. I hoped so. But the thing that had been calling me was not her. Why had it sent me to the keychain? What were those rotten bags of trash? Whose money had I taken? Why did it want me to kill my cat? I cried and cried. B came and curled up on my chest. She purred loudly, as if she knew I was in distress and wanted to calm me down. I petted her soft spotted fur. I didn't think I'd fall asleep, but I did. That night I had a dream. In the dream, my phone rang. The caller was unlisted. I picked it up. My grandma was on the other end, except it was actually her this time. She was panicking and in distress, saying she was freezing. The line went dead. Suddenly she was standing at the foot of my bed. She looked the way she did the day she died. Then I woke up. I'm not going to work today. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.